Great to have you with us. Welcome to this video. Today we continue with the BWE Coupe. Let's start with the topic of kneading. And in this video, I want to summarize it a bit, especially for the beginners out there who have never encountered this topic before. In this video, I'll show you all three possibilities. There are many, many more tools, but just to give you an impression, why do we even need the vehicle? What does kneading have to do with vehicle care at all? When should you perhaps need your vehicle? How does it work? What tools are there and what additional tips and tricks? Enjoy. Let's start with the basics first. What does kneading vehicle paint actually mean? Kneading is primarily a cleaning process, specifically a mechanical one. You can remove the contamination on the paint chemically with, for example, acidic cleaners, pH neutral or alkaline cleaners. However, we have residues here that have not come off with a normal wash. And before we get to the tools, let's go up to the roof here, and you might not be able to see it through the camera, but I'll try to demonstrate it acoustically for you. When I rub over it here, you not only hear the squeaking, but also a real sandy rubbing sound. And that's because there's a strong layer of dirt here that can't be removed with bare hands. The surface is very, very rough, and this usually doesn't come off with a wash. And after you've washed your vehicle, we've washed it with an alkaline solution, we've washed it with an acidic solution, so pre-cleaned it and then washed it again with a wash mitt. That means we already had a mechanical cleaning and friction here, but it's still completely rough. And now I'll show you what you can use for this. Because for claying, for this cleaning step, there are different tools available. One option is to use the regular classic clay. I'll show you how to use it in a moment. I've brought along the clay bar from Soft 99's Kaizu series. This here is, for example, the 50G variant. This is usually enough for one car. Then there are also, for example, these tools. These are hand polishing aids with a clay surface on them. Here you can see again, this is the clay surface. You also have a small foam layer in between. This means you have very nice cushioning when working on the paint. We'll take a closer look at this during the application. And I'll give you more advantages because, as you can see, handling is a big plus here. And then we'll also include machine claying. This means we attach this clay pad to the ER plate, set a low speed, and then depending on the speed, we can wonderfully clay the paint. For claying, you need a clay loop in English, also known as a lubricant. This is simply a very concentrated shampoo water mixture. I'm just going to use the Kaiotsu shampoo here because we have the corresponding clay for it. I have 1200 ml of water, and now I'm adding about 50 to 60 ml of shampoo into my measuring cup. If it's 70, that's not a big deal either. Better to dose a bit higher than too little. With this, we have an over-concentrated mixture. This means it has a very, very high lubricating film, which we need now for claying. And you can put it in a regular pressure sprayer. I even have the ultra luxury version here, which is completely electric, but you can also use a regular pressure spray bottle. It works just as well. But we need this lubricating liquid now for claying, and that's a very, very important point. That's why I'm just showing an example mixture here. Now with the cool temperatures, it might be that, let's say, cheap clays are very, very hard and like a kind of stone. You can recognize good clays by the fact that even at, we currently have only 6 or 7 degrees, they are already warped, super smooth right from the start. It's not warmed up or anything. If your clay is very, very hard, put it in warm water for a bit. But you can see here, the soft night clays are so top-notch, they are flexible right from the start. They become even more flexible when they get a bit of warmth from your hands, but you can start working with it perfectly right away. Fold it to a size where you get a surface area of about X centimeter. Otherwise, it just takes forever. So pull it apart a bit and then take your clay loop mix. We spray the surface a little bit. You can also do this wonderfully in the evening hours, for example, at the self-service box. But still, ask the operator again, because it takes a bit more time if you do something like this here. But if you maybe put something underneath, you can also do it on private property. It's important that no dirt runs into the groundwater. Then we take a bit of moisture from the clay. It's important not to use circular motions now, but really just start at a corner in this area and gently move back and forth with light pressure. And I hope the microphone is picking this up now. I'm going to get closer here now. You just heard that scraping noise. You can also see it here. This is the dirt I'm talking about. I hope it's clearly visible, but perfect. You couldn't demonstrate it any better. And we have the same thing here on the surface. You can really hear the sound quite loudly in this particular spot. But as we make our way back along the path, the noise gradually diminishes and becomes much quieter. Now let's prepare ourselves to embark on the journey once more, retracing our steps and experiencing the changes in sound as we move along the route again. Now it's already significantly less, and you can tell there's going to be a lot of dirt on it. Look at how much stuck on dirt it has removed. Amazing, isn't it? So, and you can just rinse over it in between. We rinse off the clay. When we run our fingers over it now, it should be mirror smooth. When you go over it, you still have this rough surface, which the solid particles remove from the clay. You will never get it 100% clean again. That's completely normal. Normally, it's a cleaning tool, but you can see how well I can already push the dirt away with my fingers. Then rinse it again, preferably in a bucket of water next to you or something like that. And then you knead it once or fold it together and bring it back to a nice wide shape. Don't fold it together wildly, but simply fold it together nicely each time. This way you can use the clay for the longest time. Now rinse it thoroughly. And when I go over it with the flat of my hand now, it's super smooth like a mirror. All the dirt is really gone. And here in the front, if you go here, you still have this rough, bumpy surface. And that's why you simply knead these areas with these cleaning tools. And with that, we come to the next tool. If you say, hey, this might be a bit too fiddly for me, and I might have the problem that it slips out of my hand quickly, because that's definitely a disadvantage of this clay. You have to concentrate a bit, because you don't have a proper grip. And when your hands are a bit wet, look how nicely flexible it is now due to the warmth of your hands. Really top-notch. So absolutely superb kneading here from Soft 99 in this series. But there will eventually come a point where it slips out of your hand a bit. So definitely concentrate. And for that, there's this next category. These are the so-called clay kits, or also known as clay balls. There are different names for them. They have the kneading surface on them. You can really nicely regulate it with this cushioning. And basically it works the same way. You spray some clay lube on the surface. A bit on this disc. And then you start at the top just the same. And listen to how it removes that sandy dirt. Amazing, isn't it? So you first realize what kind of dirt is on here. And you see, it's a different matter in terms of handling. You can also nicely regulate the pressure. Not like pressing a picture down and pushing the paint down, but really holding it steadily in your hand. Light pressure, because the pressure is then balanced out by this foam. That works really, really well. And you can treat these surfaces really nicely here, and now it has to be perfectly smooth. Absolutely top-notch. Here it's like an ice rink, and down here still completely rough. So, and the only downside here is you have these dark surfaces. That means after an area of about 60 by 60, 70 by 70, I would just rinse it out in the wash bucket. It's ready for use again and can now be used on the next spot. And so you go nicely over the car. And afterwards, everything here is perfectly smooth. That's how it should be. Absolutely top-notch. Also a very, very nice tool. Now let's take a look at the third variant. Now it's important, you don't want to polish, you don't want to remove any paint defects. That's not possible with this. Instead, you just want the machine to perform this rubbing motion. Therefore, use a low setting. And you can already see the downside. It can sometimes splash around a bit. So just be careful, lower the speed a bit more, and then find a suitable spot. Now you can wonderfully go over the surface here. This is the simplest variant. I would also say it's the less common variant, but it definitely works without any issues. And again, moisture and electricity are not the best pair, but the machine should definitely handle it without any problems. And here too. Super smooth, absolutely top-notch. So you just need to be a bit careful. If you use too much clay loop, it will splash around. That's completely normal. Low speed, very, very little pressure. And then you can simply go over it again. But it's really super relaxing. And for anyone who already has such a machine at home, they can now perfectly clay their car. But this is really the super special method. It's not the standard method, but it's extremely time effective. And if you've ever clayed an entire car, you'll know that this is a great relief. It's important to have plenty of clay loop everywhere, and then it works perfectly. Top. Everything is ultra smooth here. Amazing. Rinse it out from time to time. These are the three options. Choose your favorite, and for me, all clay tools definitely have their justification. Depending on how many cars you need to do, what condition they are in, whether it's your own car, or if you say you can't afford to buy an extra machine, which is completely understandable. Guys, maybe get yourself a clay kit or the regular classic clays. That's absolutely fine. And also, like, this You have handling advantages, you have handling disadvantages. Everything is within a reasonable price range. In my opinion, even the regular tools, the clay blocks, all around 10 to 15 euros or so. And the regular clays are also in that range. It's not like any tool is massively more expensive. There are also these clay mitts, which are useful if you have really large vehicles or many vehicles. Get yourself a clay mitt. It costs a bit more, but it depends on how many you want to do with it. But it is an important step before polishing. It is an important and thorough cleaning step, and it is definitely recommended before any polishing action, especially for cars that haven't been properly cleaned for years. In the end, you play with the whole clay, see where you can do it. You might also be able to do this at home, lay out a tarp underneath, and if you want to be on the safe side, you clay the entire vehicle. But if you notice that many areas are already smooth and there are only a few spots left, you can also work selectively. However, you have the most assurance regarding pre-cleaning if you do the entire car. So, as always, decide for yourself. I just wanted to show you the process again so you can see what's available. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and otherwise, have fun trying it out. Claying is definitely an important step. You do it once before a really nice polish, and then it should be done. And we'll see each other again next time. Your Sebastian Schallert, available anytime for questions via WhatsApp. Until next time.